Brainy M. Brainy M has a couple questions. I think I'll answer both because they'll be quick. How often do you eat? As much as you can. If you get up in the morning, it's good to have a good hearty breakfast because it'll give you energy. But some people just want to get up and get on that trail and maybe hike, eat a bar while they're hiking, and then stop an hour or two later and have breakfast. But it's probably good to eat as much as you possibly can for two reasons. You got to keep that energy up, and also the more you eat, the less your pack weight becomes. So you want to drop some of that pack weight and time it right so that the next time you're in town, you don't end up getting into town with all this food in your backpack. And your second question was, do I ever have any encounters with animals? A lot of the times, but it depends. I'd say mostly deer. I did come across a black bear. Clouds. Do any animals hurt or disturb you on trail? No.
Hi, buddy. How you doing, pal?
I've never been disturbed or hurt by an animal, and for the most part, I would say no. A lot of people are afraid of rattlesnakes. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. I don't think that I've ever heard of a PCT hiker that was bit or even struck by a rattlesnake. And sometimes when they do strike you, it could be just a dry strike where they don't inject venom and you'd be fine. But it doesn't happen very often. Black bears, they're timid. You stand tall, you let them know that you're not afraid, and they'll go their own way. If there's a mama bear with cubs, you want to go the other way and leave them alone. But you always respect the animals on trail, and they'll leave you alone. Same thing with mountain lions. You're not their prey. They don't eat people for the most part. Their prey would be a rabbit or a deer. They don't really prefer humans first. Smiles. What is your go-to meal? My go-to meal, contradictory to what some people would say, oatmeal. I love oatmeal with chocolate protein powder, especially in the morning. But it's easy. It sustains itself, gives you a lot of energy. And aside from that, in the evening, I think my go-to meal, the freeze-dried meal, like a Mountain House meal or Good to Go or one of those brands, is lasagna or beef stroganoff. Love that too. Brainy C, what kind of food do you eat and take with you? You take the lowest volume, highest calorie, least bulky, and be sure that there's some good protein and fat content in that food. You pick what you like, what you enjoy eating, but those are the important things.
Manny. I thought you were editing. Look at all this stuff. Oh, amethyst.
Amethyst. Specs. The one thing you need to bring. Well, I went over all the things that you need to bring as far as gear goes, but the one thing that you really need is you got to have water.
It's a 17-mile water carry, carrying 4.5 liters, 5 days worth of food. So packs full and heavy with food and water.
But honestly, you do need a little bit more than that to survive. You need a shelter, you need a warm quilt, and doesn't hurt to carry a GPS tracking device to call for help if you ever need it. Mask. Do you need a bear-proof item for your food? Yes, you do. In the required areas in bear country, and that's usually in the Sierra area and in the Desolation Wilderness area. But you do need them.
If you're hiking a trail like the Pacific Crest Trail, you're going to have to carry a bear canister of some sort at one point in the trail. So, you just get used to it like anything else. Happy trails.
Ball cap. What part is the hardest? So the part of the trail that's the hardest for a lot of people, and this varies. There are some people that could handle the desert with no problem, but when they get to the snow, they just can't do it. And there are some people that come from areas of snow and they hike in the snow all the time, but they just can't stand the heat in the desert. So, but I would say for the most part, from what I've heard from people, is that the desert is the biggest struggle. The climbing in the heat. Steep downhills anywhere on the trail are always tough. But when you're in the snow, post-holing and trekking through snow takes a lot of time and a lot of energy, so that can be tough too. Gamer, I know you asked me what my favorite video game is. I don't have one because I'm not a gamer. Sorry, don't hate me. Sea of Thieves. How much food can I have a day? As much as I want. Really, you can eat as much as you want, but remember, the more you eat, the more you need to carry. So if you're a big eater, you've got to carry more pounds. If you're able to sustain yourself through the patch of trail that you're planning on going through, the 4 or 5 days or whatever section, however long it takes, bring enough food to get you from point A to B before you resupply. Nothing more, nothing less, so that you're always eating when you're used to eating. Artist. Really good question here. How does walking the trail feel mentally? Wow, that's something that took me by surprise. When I first hiked the PCT in 2020, I went out and did a couple sections, and even just doing a section, I got real emotional and realized that when you get in touch with nature, your mind just clears. And when you have a clear mind, you can go into deep thought, and it can bring out some emotion. You do a lot of self-reflection. So mentally, I would say that it's very, very healing and very healthy. Graceful. Have you ever made friends on the trail that you've kept in contact with after separating from the trail? Yes, absolutely. Matter of fact, this year I'll be hiking with a couple of them. We're already planning on getting together to hike again. And there are other hikers that I'm staying in contact with who I may hike with. But yeah, it seems like when you meet people on the trail and spend some time with them, even if you don't stay in touch very often, you just feel that there's a chance that you're going to see them again somewhere, because you know you have hiking in common. So as long as you can do that, why not get in touch with each other and go out there and do it again? Really good people out there that I met and that I'm staying in contact with, yes.
Hey, it's Diggle here at Ramona Falls in Northern Oregon. There's only one thing better than observing nature's beauty like this, and that's observing it with a friend or drinking a nice cold Dr. Pepper. Cheers. Cheers.
Smiler, how many miles do you do daily? Well, it depends. Sometimes I'll hike solo and sometimes I'll hike with a group. When you're with a group, you might be motivated to do more, or you might be motivated to do more when you're solo because maybe the group won't keep up with you if you're feeling good that day. But it depends on your physical and mental condition and your strength. Sometimes it depends on your age. Although I've seen a lot of hikers in their mid to late 60s or even early 70s knock out 20 miles a day. Maybe that they're younger at heart or just lighter, good physical condition. And I do see a lot of young people in their early 20s to 30s that do put on a lot of miles because they're just young. So the more miles you can complete is great, but I've seen some exceptional 50 plus hikers that can do 30-mile days. I have to say, with my pace, stopping often, taking in all the beauty, vlogging, taking video, my average was about 15 miles a day. I don't think I ever went more than a 27-mile day. Eyeliner. Why did you decide to hike the PCT? A lot of reasons, eyeliner. I didn't even know what the PCT was until 2019. Caught a YouTube video from some past hikers that vlogged and did gear videos, showed the trail, and it was just intriguing to me. And I just wanted to do it. I wanted to see the trail in all its beauty. I knew I was going to be retiring soon, so I'd have the time to do it. I wanted to do some self-reflection, get away from the everyday stress and back in touch with nature. That was the biggest payoff, when you realize that aside from family back home, all you need is a backpack with your essentials to continue forward day by day. So it made me realize that, you don't need much in life except what you have on your back. And of course, it's nice to have your family and loved ones at home, but to get away every once in a while, get in touch with nature, very, very healthy and healing. Reluctant hiker. Oh, you gotta love that trail name. Okay, best shoes. Definitely trail runners. I prefer topos and ultras, but everyone's different. It's important that you first try them on. I mentioned that earlier. Hike a few miles in them. And if you buy them at REI and you're a member, you get to return them. Silver. What cool animals have you seen? I've seen lots of snakes, lizards, rabbits, scorpions, deer, beautiful birds, and bears. I've never been face to face with a cougar, but I tell you, I was stalked. You know what they say, if you don't have it on video, it didn't happen. But yeah, they're out there, and I think I've seen plenty, mostly lizards and deer. A lot of deer in Northern California.
Hey, why are you following me? Yeah, you.
What you up to, huh? What you up to? You gonna come over and give me a kiss? What you doing? What's your name? I'll just call you Doe. It's a camera. You gonna eat my camera? No, you don't eat my camera. You gotta go home. Go find your family. See you later. Clamfish. When you're walking, how frequently do you stop? Well, I think I stop more than the average hiker, maybe. A whole lot to take pictures and video, but also to take in the sights.
What a view.
Enjoy it. You're out there. There's no reason to rush and just look straight down at the ground and just think about getting to Canada. It's nice if you can make it, but as far as I go personally, I enjoyed my journey and I wouldn't change anything and don't regret stopping as much as I did. I don't think I would have stopped as much if I wasn't vlogging, though. You do want to stop if you're feeling something. The old cliche, listen to your body. If you feel you need a break, you got to take it. If your body hurts, you need to rest it. If you feel any hot spots on your feet or toes, you attend to them. The hot spots means that you're getting blisters or you're about to get a blister, so you need to prevent the blister from appearing if you can. So it's nice to stop and take in some more calories, eat something, drink something, rest your feet, let them breathe. Sharpie, how did it feel to sleep on the ground? What was the bug situation? So the key, Sharpie, is to find a level spot and clear it all out. Clear out as many sharp rocks as possible. Your sleeping pad is important, so you want to find that one that is durable, warm, and comfy. I don't know if you're able to tell in the video, but that's a really flat, soft dirt camp spot. Not too soft, not too hard, but it's level. Sharpie, I never ever worried about bugs. When you're in your tent, there are no bugs that get in your tent. When you're cowboy camping, there are bugs out there, but I never worried about them. I never had a problem with them. Never even thought about it. The mosquitoes are the ones that get you. And that definitely, if there are mosquitoes around, I will not cowboy camp. I will set my tent up, get in my tent, make sure there aren't any mosquitoes in there, and use mosquito repellent. The worst night I ever had on the trail was when I was eaten by mosquitoes and I couldn't sleep all night because I was itching and I didn't bring anything for it. So the next day I was able to get into town and get some topical ointment that took care of those itches. But man, it was just, it was just torture. Torture all night. Mosquitoes, don't like them. Hazel, how many animals have you seen? I couldn't count them all, but I've seen a whole lot. A lot of snakes, different types of snakes, mostly rattlesnakes, marmots, deers, bears. I think I answered a question related to animals and named a few. But when you're hiking alone, and at that time, they're the only friends you got, it's nice to see them. Hoodie, what inspired you to go on this trail? I think I touched on it earlier, but what really inspired me were the YouTube vloggers that were posting their experiences on trail, and for them to capture the trail and share it, and just seeing the trail and those sights, I had to get on it. Fluffy, do you ever get tired of eating trail food? Absolutely yes. I really don't like trail food. I just don't. But, you got to eat it. So, but the good thing about it is you can eat all the Snickers bars and paydays that you want. Otherwise, I prefer town food. So I'll embrace the suck and I'll eat that trail food because I have to. But when I get to town, ooh, what a treat.
How is it?
It's amazing! It doesn't just add water, it comes already cooked! Fantastic!
How's your quesadilla? It's good. Aren't you kind of sick of tortillas? It's like you're eating trail food.
You have a point.
You're eating trail food. You should have some nachos. Okay, weather's looking really bad. I think I'm gonna get a motel room.